Welcome to Classic Value Investors and Microcap Explosions. This is Mariusz Konieczny. Today we are talking about OTC Market Group in the video series, Why is this a great business? So in the stock market world, everybody knows about NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, and then not very many people know about OTC markets. Some people call them penny stocks, but they are very much frowned upon. People don't understand them. Stay away from them. OTC Markets Group was actually included in the book How to Profit from the Coronavirus Recession. And as you can see, the stock was trading about $25 and now we're looking at $40. So it is higher than it was pre-COVID, and that's just because it's a fantastic business. At that time, the market cap was like 250 million or something like that, and today it's 470. It just tells you that like during market sell-offs, you don't really have to worry about. Good companies don't stay down for too long, and if we look at a longer term from like 2009, it was about $4, so it's a 10-bagger in a little bit over 10 years. That's not bad. If we look at the company's operating performance, return on assets, look, fantastic, almost 30%, over 30%, and then 40% here. And then it declined a little bit. Returns on equity are even higher, 55, 62, 83, 105, 85, 95. This is just a superior world-class business. Look at these gross margins. 90 it's like 99, 90, 98, 95. Operating margin 35, almost 30, 31, and net profit margin 21, 23, 27, 24. And you see, so here you have a just unbelievable business and nobody's talking about it. And I'm not saying it's a buy or whatever. I have better things to do with my money, but yeah, you can put your money into something like this and just hold it for years and you're going to do just fine. And nobody's talking about it because it's not one of the popular names. And why is that? Well, because first of all, what does this company do? So in the regular stocks that we all know about, you have New York Stock Exchange and you have NASDAQ, right? These are exchanges and companies trade their stocks there. OTC Market is not an exchange. It might appear like an exchange because if you buy stocks that trade on OTC markets, you are buying them and you can't even tell the difference that they are not on exchange, because OTC markets is a quotation system that connects brokers with each other and the brokers can sell these names to each other, but it's not an exchange. And that's why if you try to buy some of these names, your broker might not have access to these names, and that's why you need to get a broker that has access to OTC markets, which it needs to be in that broker dealer network that has access to OTC names. But obviously it costs more money, so not every broker has it because not too many people trade them. And OTC Markets Group is a company that owns this platform. So in other words, broker dealers pay subscription fees to be on that platform, and also companies that trade on that platform pay because some of these companies provide more disclosure, some of them provide very little disclosure, but they pay for different disclosure and regulatory compliance. And OTC Markets Group has a ticker symbol of OTCM, and even though it has a market cap of 470 million, obviously it could trade on NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with no problem, but of course it's not going to because it tries to promote OTC market. But just because it trades on OTC markets, it didn't stop the stock from doing what it did. Why? Because the business performed. so well, and that's why the stock followed. So it doesn't really matter where your business is trading. What matters is how the business performs. And you already saw the metrics here from Morningstar, and I want you to see the income statement from 2016. Pretty much every category of, and most of, like about 90% of the company's revenues are from subscriptions, which means they are recurring rather than transaction based. So that's a very wonderful business model. But the revenues are divided into 3 categories, and as you can see, the revenues pretty much for each category is growing, and then the total revenue went from 50.8 million in 2016 to about 71.2 million in 2020. So as you can see, the revenues are growing. There is net income. So the company's net income is also growing. From 2016, it went from 10.5 million to 18.2 million. Very nice growth. The number of shares the total number of shares is pretty constant, and actually it went down here, so they probably did some buyback. Shareholders' equity too, it grew over this time period. So very, very solid company. But to see why it's such a great business, we need to go to the cash flow statement. Here's the cash flow statement. And net cash provided by operating activities in 2020 was 26 million. Now, how was this money spent? So we go into cash flow from investing activities, and notice here that there's barely any spending here. Purchases of property and equipment, so that's your capex, right? Barely anything. So this company was able to grow revenue, and they don't even have to spend barely any money on capex. That's what a wonderful business is. It can grow revenues without having to spend a lot of money. So as a result of this, look where the money goes. Look at this, dividends. Look how huge these dividends are in relation to the operating cash flow. Almost everything is paid out in dividends because the company is so capital light. It already has the infrastructure and technology and software. So the shareholders pretty much get everything. And then what else? Purchase of treasury stock. That's buybacks. Then they do some buybacks. So if you want to know if a business is great, you got to go to the cash flow statement and see where the money is going. If you see in the cash flow from investing activities and you see a lot of money being spent on property and equipment, which is capex, well, then you know where's the money going. It goes for capex. But if there's not much capex, you know it's a fantastic business. And in this case, they can keep growing and the money just goes straight to shareholders. So that's it. So this is it for the video. OTC Markets Group, fantastic business. Thanks for watching.